Hello, good afternoon, everybody. This is Michael Kinnett with iTernal Networks, and this is time for our weekly live stream. We call it the iTNet Tech Update. So every Friday at 1 o'clock, we live stream to Facebook and some of our other social media platforms to share some cybersecurity and technology news, give some tips, and answer questions. So hopefully you guys are prepared today with some questions. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch live, or for those of you that are watching this after the fact, thanks for taking your time for this. So today I wanted to share a little bit of news. So I know in the past we've talked about, like, we're going to share news and tips, and we've kind of the last few weeks been focusing more on the tips. So I want to get back to our original agenda and make sure we're providing some news as well. So this came out yesterday. QNAP is a technology manufacturer. They make NAS devices, or network attached storage devices. And what these are is basically hard drives that sit on the network. Sometimes they're in use in homes, in small businesses, and in large enterprises for various purposes. For instance, I have one in my home that I use for storing media, pictures and home videos and other things that we can share with other computers on my home network. Some businesses use them for their backup systems. And QNAP is one of the larger brands that make these NAS devices. Well, yesterday they came out and said that anybody with a QNAP needs to patch their device. They need to update it because there's a known vulnerability that's being exploited in the wild. And let's see here, they're calling it the deadbolt ransomware. And so what's happening is some bad actors or some criminal organizations out there are finding these QNAP devices that are exposed to the internet and loading this deadbolt ransomware on them. And so QNAP and myself and other cybersecurity professionals as well would recommend not exposing your NAS to the internet. So if you don't know whether your QNAP or other NAS device is exposed to the internet, QNAP's website does have some links and some information on how you can tell. I would suggest maybe talking to a IT professional to make sure that your network is set up in such a way that your NAS is protected behind the firewall. And also, if you have a QNAP device, I would make sure it gets updated, or reach out to your IT professional and make sure they're updating that on your behalf. Otherwise, you may end up with all of the data on your QNAP device encrypted and unable to be accessed without either recovering from a backup or paying a Bitcoin ransom. So that's my news. I guess that's a little bit of a tip to go along with it. But the other thing I want to talk about today is one of the blog posts we have on our website. It's been up, I don't know, for a few years. And reading through it today, I realize it's definitely dated and probably needs to be updated a little bit. But we frequently, we monitor our website and try to gauge how involved our website is and our marketing efforts and other things. And this one blog post far surpasses all other blog posts as far as the amount of traffic we get to it. We get traffic from all over the country that, for one way or another, search on Google and find this blog post that we wrote years ago. And the blog post talks about the average cost of IT support services. So understandable why that would be a hot topic. So I want to talk a little bit about that because we see so much traffic to that blog post. I thought it'd be a good topic to share here on this live stream. So, and once again, the blog post is dated. You can go to my website and read it. I'll probably go on and update it later this week. But essentially, the cost for IT services can range drastically, right? I mean, you can search online or talk to your friend down the street or your other business owner buddies, and somebody probably knows a one-man IT shop who charges $50, $60, $70 an hour to fix things, right? And you're going to get what you pay for, right? This is most likely somebody with limited experience. Maybe he's really good at printers, right? But he's not very good with servers or security or other things. And you get that one guy. If he's busy, sorry, you're going to have to wait, right? So that's at the low end, right? Most businesses might be able to get by for a short period of time with an IT person such as that. But at some point as the business grows, that's probably not going to meet your needs. right? Outsourcing to or hiring an IT company that has a larger workforce, more experience, more specialized technicians and engineers is going to charge more. They may charge up to $250 an hour. So that's quite a range, right? You got anywhere from 50 to 65 an hour at one end, up to 250 an hour at the other end. And 250 usually we're seeing is security engineers, developers, right? Very database administrators, very specialized in one particular area. And most IT companies are going to fall somewhere in between, right? Somewhere in the $100-something an hour range. Now that's if you hire them for hourly support. Most IT companies now have shifted to what's known as a managed services model, where instead of paying when something's broken, an hourly rate to come in and fix it, the managed service provider or IT company is paid to prevent problems, right? So they're paid a monthly fee depending on how many users and computers and devices and what level of coverage you want, to make sure that systems are maintained and try to minimize that downtime or those issues that come up. And if an issue comes up, then they cover it under that contract, under that preventative contract. So what's the price for that? Well, once again, that ranges depending on what your systems are, how complex they are, and what level of compliance and security you need. Your pricing could be anywhere from $100 a user all the way up to $350, $400 per user, depending on what level of service you require. If you're in an industry, healthcare, financial services, etc., where there's lots of regulations and compliance requirements and cybersecurity needs, you're going to pay a little bit more to have that proper coverage. And if you find an IT company that says, oh yeah, we can do that for $100 a user, no problem, we've got you fully protected, fully compliant with all of these regulations, I would be a little bit skeptical, because it takes a lot of labor, a lot of tools to provide proper cybersecurity coverage, especially for a business that has any regulations. So that may bring up more questions than answers for you to know that, it really does vary. But just like, you can go and buy a Hyundai, a very fairly inexpensive car, or you can go and buy a top of the line Lexus, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and pay much more, right? Not all IT technicians are the same with their skill set, their knowledge, and not all IT companies are the same, right? So some of them are definitely more of a premium, and some of them are definitely more of a, we'll get the job done, but you just may end up having to wait a little bit. So you definitely need to shop out and know what you're looking for. Love to answer any questions anybody has. Oh, we got a question here. Corey, someone tried to hack me yesterday. Still have the message saved. Tried to reset my Facebook account password and steal my identity. Social engineering, right? Yes, that would be right. If they're trying to gain access to your Facebook, that would be a method of social engineering. Yes, they're trying to gain access to you, and probably through you, reach out to other individuals and gain access to them, their information. So yes, that is a type of social engineering. Hopefully you were able to get that blocked. I would recommend enabling 2FA or multi-factor authentication on your Facebook account and any other accounts that you don't have that set up on, just to make sure that, so that if somebody does have your password, right, if your password has been breached at some point and is on the dark web, they can't get in with just your username and password. They still have to have that 2FA code that's in your authenticator app or texted to you or emailed to you. So I would highly recommend going and getting that set up. Sorry to hear that happen, but it happens daily, right? Daily, there's criminals out there that are trying to get in, gain access, and steal people's information and do nefarious things. So hopefully that was minimized for you, Corey. So yeah, I'll see if there's any other questions coming up on here, but love to answer any questions that come up. If you guys are watching this after the fact, not live, post them in the comments below. I'll get a notification, or you can direct message me. And I'd love to answer any of your cybersecurity or technology questions. I do want to talk about, we've got a webinar. We do webinars once a month, educational, informative webinars. They typically last around 30 minutes. Try to keep it under. Sometimes there's a lot to cover, and we might go a few minutes over with questions, but it's around 30 minutes. So next month, June 16th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, we're going to be talking about planning for scalability in your business. We're going to talk about how you can tech more and stress less, and essentially how you can use technology to assist as you scale your business, how you can implement processes and procedures through the use of technology to make sure that things are flowing the way that they should and simplifying any onboarding of employees, clients, systems, etc. So we're going to be talking about some different strategies and techniques that you can use, pointing out some software that can assist with that. So that will be June 16th at 1 p.m. I'm going to post here in the comments a link if you'd like to register for that. We'll be sending out some private invitations and stuff on LinkedIn and through email as well. So if you've joined us on a past webinar, we'd love to see you again. And we'll be talking about that next week. So, or next month, I guess, June 16th. Next week, I will not be able to do the live stream at 1 o'clock at our normal time. I'm going to be at my son's school, actually live streaming his elementary school play. Lo and behold, we found out my son is enjoying theater, and he tried out and got the lead. So he's playing Aladdin in the fourth grade production of Aladdin. So I'll be live streaming that for family and friends, and I won't be able to do this live stream. I will try to record something and see if I can, still post it at the same time through some of that scalable technology automation I mentioned, right? So there will be a video next Friday at 1 o'clock. It just won't be me speaking live to be able to answer questions. So just want to give a heads up on that. And if any other questions come up, like I said, I'm around, love to answer and talk cybersecurity and help other businesses improve their cyber resilience. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you.